Hello guys, and welcome back to DireWolfWargaming. Today I'll be showing you how to build up one of our paint racks. So in the box, when you get it, you'll get your DireWolf logo, which is here, with instructions on how to apply the transfer to the shield. You'll get a shield, and then these two little circles here are to attach the shield onto the paint rack. These are optional. Therefore, these little pieces here, it's to create a paint brush holder on the side. I'll show you how to put it together, but I won't be applying it to this paint rack because it's a middle paint rack. You'll get 5 of these, which are for obviously where the paints are going to go. These are the 2 sides to the paint rack, with that there and that there being slots for the optional brush holder. And then this makes up the back of the paint rack, as you can see with these bits here, and that there is the base of the paint rack, so that would be going on the bottom. So the first thing you need to do is get your side pieces, and then glue in these in to the here on one side, and then glue the other side straight on top so it holds the frame together. So I'll get started on that and I'll be right back with you guys. Okay, so as you can see, all of those pieces are on and attached to the 2 sides, and it can stand up by itself now. I've used super glue to glue it together, but it's MDF, so you can use wood glue or anything like that. I use super glue just to get it bound instantly, but if you'd rather use other glue you can. So putting that piece to one side for now, we're going to focus on this piece here for the second, because what you want to do is put your little circles into there like that, dab a little bit of glue on like that, and then all you got to do is just rest the shield on top, and you can position it like that, and the shield will now be centralized, so whenever you slot it in, you'll have that on the back, and then all you've got to do is just simply glue this part, this circle to the other one, and that then goes like that. Now the shield is optional, but whilst that's drying, we'll talk about something else, which will be this pieces here. So that's the top piece that will go into the side of the top part of the frame, and that's the bottom piece. And then these pieces here glue to the bottom piece, so then when your brush goes in, it's got a barrier. Now I'm not gluing these together today because I'm not using them, as it's going to be a middle frame. You can invert the sides, so you can have the frame on that side, or you can have it on that side, depending upon how you build it up. It's quite easy to do, so you can end up having a paint brush holder on the left hand one, paint brush holder on the right hand one, nothing on the middle, and then you can just push them all together, hang them on the wall, whatever you want to do. So next up with the frame, and it's a chance to fully dry, is to put on the back pieces. So these pieces would just go and be glued into there like that, and that is all you have to do. These are quite easy to stick together, like a lot of my MDF products, so that's how it looks. I'm going to glue these in and I'll be right back with you. Okay, so this is all glued together now, so again we're going to put it to one side, And what we're going to do now is do the logo. So all you have to do with the logo is cut around the shield. You paint PVA onto the surface of the MDF shield. You paint PVA onto the back of the transfer. You position the transfer, allow it to dry thoroughly, and then you paint the surface of the transfer with PVA. Don't use diluted or very thin PVA glue on the transfer, as you can bleed it. And you can use varnish to seal the transfer instead of PVA. And that's the set of instructions that comes with your two transfers, so if you mess one up, you've got a backup in case. So I'm going to get this cut out and glued onto here. You can just cut it as a square and then position it properly like that and then cut round it, but I just prefer to cut round it accurately there. So I'm going to get that glued down and then I'll be right back with you. Okay, so as you can see, the shields had the transfer applied and that's now going to dry. So really quick before I move on to the next part, as I described earlier, these bits here, which are for the brush holder, slot into these holes here. So that one goes there and this one goes there. So all you got to do really, if you want to put them on, is just glue that piece into there, glue this piece into there, and then obviously before you glue this piece in, glue those to that and then just glue that into there, and then it creates a brush holder for you. So as I say, these are optional and they're not being put on in this video. So all that's left now is the baseboard, and all you've got to do is simply glue it to the either side, and then that's it. Then the paint rack's done. It's ready to hold your army painted paints. So I'm going to get that glued in, guys, and then I'll be right back. Right guys, so the paint rack's now fully built up. I've only got a lot of this so you can see most of it on the camera, and the transfer's on. It's ready to hold 40 army painted paints, and these should be very useful if they're the same size bottles as for the new army painter speed paints that are coming out in January. So these should be very useful if you're going to be investing in those. These can be found on my website, DireWolfWargaming.com, and on Etsy and eBay, and you can get different shield transfers on my website exclusively if you fancy a change up of wolf on there. And you can follow us on Instagram to keep up to date with all our latest products and projects we're working on. We're also on Patreon if you want to support the channel. But if you enjoyed the video, and hopefully you're watching it because you've just bought a paint rack, I hope you enjoy your paint rack and it serves you well. But if you enjoyed the video, please leave us a like, share it with anyone who might be interested in getting a paint rack for army painter paints. As I said, the new speed paints are coming out soon in January, and leave us a like and subscribe to us and join the pack. Bye guys.